Hey there guys, Aldershot here. Today we're gonna do an early look video into Retro Game Crunch. Alright, so what is a Retro Game Crunch, you might be asking? Well, it's a collection of seven games that has been inspired from the 8-bit generation of gaming. So like, from games that you'll see on the NES, it does have kind of an interesting history behind it. It was put on Kickstarter. And the way the developers work, who are Sean Inman, Rusty Moyer, and Matt Grime, they basically put up a couple of themes onto their Kickstarters and let the backers vote on which theme of games that they're going to create. And the theme that won, they would actually, gather the resources, create the game in less than a month, and then put it out for the backers to play. Alright, so it took them about 6 months to do it, I believe, as it was a 6 games in 6 months kind of challenge. Although this collection of games actually features 7. I believe Clueland was the thing that kind of started it all, so I think that's why there's 7. But yeah, so there you go. A little bit interesting concept in how it's developed, that's for sure. I really do like how they've included and interacted with their backers. That's definitely something that's going to set this project apart. This game is actually available for sale on their website right now for about $15. And currently is on Steam Greenlight. So it's not quite on Steam yet, and that's why we're still doing an early look into the game. So definitely an interesting idea. It really brings back to the the classic days on the NES where you buy a cartridge and it will actually have multiple games that you can play, and this game certainly feels like one of those collection games for sure. Alright, so let's actually get into the gameplay and kind of explore what these games have to offer. We'll start with Clueland, alright? And we are going to start a new game. Each game actually does feel very, very different from each another, and they definitely do feel like they're inspired from the 8-bit era of gaming. So if you are interested in that style of gaming, or you're just reminiscent of those styles of games, then you should definitely check out Retro Game Crunch. It's actually kind of interesting. So this is Clueland. Is basically an evolutionary platformer, which is kind of interesting. Basically, you're just blob at first. Alright, and you got your little map here. Let's get out of there. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's go back. So basically, you're just a little blob here, and you're just trying to evolve and gain new abilities. You evolve by eating these little brown things. Sometimes they're worms, sometimes they're leaves. It all depends. And then, there's a little puzzle aspect here where when you eat stuff, you'll see on the bottom right hand corner, these pills almost kind of start dropping into your digestion system. And you have to match the colors to the proper area. Right now it's orange, so that's no good. We'll just dump that. And that one's green, so we'll throw into a green slot. That one's blue, throw into a blue slot. And there we go. That's all the nutrients we're going to get out of that. There's a mob here. We can't get past him because we don't have the ability to jump or fight back right now. We can only move left and right. So that's what we're going to do. And hold on now. I got to stop doing this. This is a mistake on my own part, not the game, just so you know. So yeah, there you go. That's basically what you have to do. You have to feed yourself. Actually, we can't get past him. We just have to wait till he's done attacking. And then eat another one of these little delicious food things. And there we go, we just kind of filled up our digestion system a little bit, and there's still nutrients being fed to us from our last bit of food. You'll see an evolutionary bar on the bottom left hand corner. Alright, when that fills, you'll actually evolve. Hopefully it will fill after eating this, so I can show you how it looks when you evolve. Now when you put the pill into the wrong area, it will just disappear just like that. I've been getting a lot of greens, which is useless to me. Okay, an orange, so let's throw into orange pile. Oh! I didn't mean to do that. When you do that, it does set you back. So do keep that in mind. So let's start this over and suck a little less. That would be kind of cool. Should probably pay attention to what I'm doing. Another green pill. That green pill is useless. There's a blue nutrient. Eat that. Oh, some more food. So this is basically how you play Clueland. It's actually kind of interesting where it's all about changing yourself, about evolving yourself and gaining new abilities. It's an interesting take on a level up system, I guess you can say. Okay, there we go. We're about to evolve now, so I'll showcase that a little bit. So there we go. Now we got legs and we can actually jump around. Alright, so that's basically the gameplay of Clue Land. I don't want to get too far into it. I haven't got the ability to swim yet, so I don't know why I jumped into the water like that. So that's basically Clue Land. It's kind of interesting how it's about evolution, and as you evolve, you will gain new abilities and be able to progress further and further into the level. Eventually developing combat skills to take care of mobs and the likes. Definitely interesting. I like the whole evolutionary feature of this platformer. It's definitely something a little bit more unique. Alright, so let's get out of here because we got 6 more games to showcase. Okay, well, we'll show off a little bit of the cutscene here. I guess that's your friend that you're going to try and catch up. I think that's going to be like a girlfriend or something like that. I don't know how it works. Alright, let's get out of this and explore other games. Okay. So, a little bit of feedback. In order to get to a new game, you actually have to exit it. Okay, you have to actually close the window and then go back to the previous window, as it does open new windows, alright? Alright, so next game, we have End of the Line. This is also a little bit of an interesting take. Alright, this is kind of a puzzle platformer. And I'll show you that now. We'll go to a new game again, because why not? Alright, so basically you're this blue Mega Man looking kind of robot, and right now you might be confused to what you're supposed to do, because when you die, that's it. You know, dying in games generally is a bad thing. Not in this game. This game's all about dying. In fact, the whole idea is to die, to attract one of those medic robots, and then kill it. And when you kill it, you can actually progress onto the next level. So dying is a good thing in this game, which is kind of interesting. And puzzles kind of revolve around you dying in the right moments and the right platforms and all that stuff. So, okay, we're going to die there. We're going to actually teleport here because we just died. And since we're now past these little spiky ball things, because the teleport is placed beyond that, we can kill the medic robot and then kill ourselves. And then progress to the next level. It's a little bit of a dark game if you think about it. It basically features a suicidal robot, essentially. So this is where the puzzles start coming into play. So there's our teleporting bay up there that we can't quite get to right now. So we're gonna kill ourselves. That way the medic bot will teleport us there for us. That way we have access to this box, push it over to this button, and now we can kill the medic bot, kill ourselves, and progress to the next level. Definitely an interesting idea of actually making death a good thing. So it's definitely a unique idea for sure. Okay, so that's generally how it goes. Obviously, as you play through the game, the puzzles will progressively get more and more challenging, more and more difficult, etc., etc. So it is an interesting game, I have to say. The concept itself is kind of interesting. The whole idea of dying is a good thing. So there we go. We killed the medic bot and we can progress through the next level. So there you go. That's basically this game. Alright, so we'll get out of this. Oh yeah, there's also a reset button as well, which is a start button. If you do mess up, because you can kind of mess up and get yourself stuck every now and then. So, but anyways, that's enough of this one, as we do have a lot more games to show off. That was End of the Line. So we have Gia Attack, or Gia Attack. There we go, Gia Attack. This is actually one of my favorite out of this Retro Game Crunch collection. This is kind of like an arena beat 'em up, I guess you can say. It's kind of interesting. There is co-op in this game, which is kind of interesting as well. It's not a bad thing. Alright, so here you are. Gia Attack. And you're this lizard monster thing. And you have a bunch of different moves. You have punch, uppercuts, you have slams, you know, and you can kind of combo as well. So it does increase your point value, I believe, or something like that. It's actually kind of cool. It's really fun. It's very fast paced. It's definitely a game more towards my taste. I do like faster paced games, more arcadey games. And this one certainly fits that bill. And the whole goal is to kill all these little dudes that's trying to kill you through comboing them, punching them in the face, uppercutting them in the face, and all that stuff, jumping on their heads. And you can break these barrels for a possible chance of getting items and health and all that stuff. And as you progress through the game, the screen does start moving up, and you have to keep up with the screen, otherwise you will die. And just like the other games, as you play through, obviously it will get more complex and more difficult. And you can actually reach one of these little, I don't know what you call them, totems, I guess, and use your special abilities when you reach them and activate them. And then you're also supposed to bust up these little ironing devices to progress through the game as well. So yeah, this game is actually really, really fun. I love it. This is my favorite one, I think. I love beat 'em ups, and this one certainly fits the bill, and controls wonderfully too. Very, very responsive. And it's just a lot of fun, really, beating up a bunch of cutesy little animal things. Why not, right? So that's Gia Attack. Pretty fun. Definitely pretty fun. I like the comboing system. And you can collect coins and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure what they do, to be completely honest. I haven't reached far enough to, I guess, buy anything yet. But yeah, there is that, so I think there is kind of like a power-up system or something like that in this game. I'm not quite sure. All I know is that it is action-based, it is a beat-em-up, and it is actually a lot of fun. I do enjoy this one quite a bit. I enjoy the other ones too, don't get me wrong, but this one's definitely probably my favorite. I like uppercutting these guys, it's a lot of fun. Kind of bounce them around and stuff like that. Oh, I just died because I'm not paying attention. And then when you die, that's it, you have to start over essentially. So that's pretty cool, Gia Attack. So let's go on to another one. Let's see, Paradox Lost, okay. Well, let's check out Paradox Lost. You know what, we're going to actually continue our game so we can show off some of the deeper gameplay, I guess. We continue. This is actually kind of a Metroidvania kind of game, which is kind of interesting. You can collect new items and level ups, or not level ups, but new items to progress through the game. I've collected this laser beam. I've also collected an ability to kind of slide attack as well. You don't have these right away, okay, and this is what I've explored so far, okay. And as you progress through the game, you will gain, you know, obviously new abilities and stuff, and just like all Metroidvania games, there's secret areas like this one. I don't know how to access yet. I think I still need other items and abilities to access the pink gates. As you can see, it definitely looks and sort of feels like Metroid quite a bit. So it's definitely heavily inspired from games like Metroid for sure. So it is an action, side-scrolling adventure game. So if you're into that, Time Paradox is definitely one of the games that you might be interested in playing. I'm having a little bit trouble platforming right now, so forgive me for that. Alright, and you know, you kill the mobs. As you can see, the graphics definitely resemble graphics that you'll find in the 8-bit era. Alright, so you know, they're not bad looking for, you know, what they're trying to do with this collection of games. You know, they're not going to be the best looking games either because, well, it's 8-bit inspired, but you know, they're not bad looking. You know, not bad looking at all. The sprites definitely are detailed, and it got some pretty retro kind of music behind all the games as well, which is nice to see. It definitely fits the bill, and definitely feels like you know, those 8-bit era games. So if you're into you know, the NES generation, this game might interest you, just for the sake of reminiscing, you know. Definitely tugs on the old nostalgia strings, if you will. So yeah, that's basically Time Paradox. It's you find abilities and you blow up crates, and you progress through the game, just like Metroid. So it's a very, very Metroid-ish kind of game. So yeah, not bad, not bad. I did enjoy this game, but, you know, just like other Metroid games, I tend to get stuck pretty quickly. I'm not exceptionally great at those games. I never really played a whole lot of the Metroid games. I was more of a Final Fight kind of guy. I was a Sega kid, alright? Alright, I was a Sega kid. Alright, so let's dodge some of these mobs, and there's another pink chest. I'm not really sure how to get past this. I think I still need to find another ability that I just don't have yet. So there you go, Time Paradox. We'll get out of this one and showcase another game in this series. Paradox Lost. Sorry, I've been calling it the wrong name the whole time. Alright, we're going to look at Wub Wub Westview. Alright, this is a bit of a cutesy game. That's a part of this collection here. So what it is you're a dog, and you're going to try and save your master through going through these kind of platform puzzle games, or platform puzzle levels. It's kind of like Burger Time, if you guys remember playing those way back in the day. In a sense where it is very platform puzzly. So there we go, you're a dog. You don't have much of a jump. If you fall from too high of a height, you will die, just like this. I'll show you. Whoops, and then he's dead. Alright, so basically you have to kind of take your time, climb those ladders, you know, jump on those puzzles, jump off it at the right time. It's all about precision. So again, Retro Game Crunch, it's definitely going to be a game that's targeted towards a niche audience, alright? It's definitely those who are interested in the 8-bit generation, the old school games, maybe the older gamers might be interested in this game, or even some of the younger gamers who never had much experience with 8-bit games and would like to kind of get a feel of what they're all about. Retro Game Crunch is definitely a good way to get a feel of said game types, because it definitely feels like those old school games back in the day and all that. But I think the target audience is definitely those who miss the Mega Man 2 days, the 8-bit era and all that stuff. This is your chance to play something new that's very much inspired from those games. I can definitely see these games being developed for those 8-bit consoles for sure. This definitely fits right into those other games from like the NES. If I didn't know any better, I would think that this is actually an NES port of some sort. So yeah, this is Wub Wub Westview. It's kind of a cutesy game, you know, a puzzle platformer, and I just committed suicide. Whoops. But yeah, as you play through Wub Wub Westview, obviously the puzzles will get more complex and will challenge you to different degrees. Like this one will add a new element where you can learn like a song, and for whatever reason, I'll show you now, the song will slow down the arrows, giving you time to get down that ladder. That was not a good example of how to do that, but that's generally how you do play it, alright? Alright, so let's try that one more time and see if we can get a little bit more success with this. I've actually gotten fairly sort of far into this game specifically, in my actual game, and it does get a little bit hard sometimes. It can get a little bit hard. Timing is a big thing in this game, and I missed that platform as I described how platforming or timing is important. But that's enough of this game. I think you guys get it. Puzzle platformer, Wub Wub Westview, pretty interesting. Alright, let's take a look at Brains and Hearts. This one, you know, it's not that I don't like it, I'm not good at it, and I just don't really understand it all that well, to be honest. So you can play against another human player you want, but we're going to do solo because we're lonely people here. We're going to pick Brains, because why not? Choose your songs. So yeah, this is a little bit more of a complex game. I'm going to skip all this stuff and just kind of explain it myself. Basically, you kind of have to place cards, and then you have to line them up in order to create a sequence. For example, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or actually I don't think there is an 8, but you know, you get the picture, right? And on your turn, you can either draw a new card or roll a god die, alright? When you roll a god die, it will change a card in play. So let's try that. So we rolled a 1, and we can choose one of the cards we own to change that, and there we go. We modify to a W. W is kind of interesting, where it can be lower than 2 or higher than 6, I believe. And that can be used to create sequences based on a little bit more of a wild card kind of kind of mechanic. Alright, so we're actually going to place a card and see what happens. We're going to place a 3 here. Why not? I'm not very good at this game, okay? Just so you guys know. Okay, we're going to place it here. We can choose to either lock it or unlock it. If we unlock it, we give the opponent an opportunity to create a sequence with our board. If we lock it, it prevents that. However, on the next turn, it will automatically become unlocked. So do keep that in mind. Let's see if we can create a sequence before we get out of here. Let's see here. Let's see what happens if we put a 6 here. Unlocked. And there we go. We're going to create a sequence. 6, 7. That W can be used as an 8 because it can be higher than the 7, I believe. I believe that's how it works. And that gives us a point. And that puts us further into the game. And you basically just kind of play until the game's over. And whoever creates the most sequences wins the game. And that's generally how it's going to work. So we'll place the 4 here, unlocked, and see what we can do. Okay, nothing. Probably shouldn't have unlocked it, but that's okay. And there we go, the computer's going to create a new sequence. So you can actually create, not just sequences, but you can actually line up 3 in a row as well, from the looks of it. So there you go, Brains and Heart. Pretty interesting, It's a card game. Kind of, you know, based on making sequences and combos and stuff like that. So let's take a look at another game. Alright, we're going to look at Shoe Tent. This is more of a kind of classic, I don't know what you call it, side-scrolling shoot 'em up or something like that. There is a multiplayer, so there is that. We're going to go into one of our later levels. This is kind of interesting. You can melee. You can also hold the melee button and then do an auto attack. And when you do that, you actually absorb the powers, which allows you to start shooting things depending on the mob that you absorb the power from. We're going to actually absorb the power from one of these cloud things, and that will change our shooting device weapon into this like homing arrow, which I do like. And yeah, it's kind of like those, you know, Galaga or you know, those Starship games that you would find in those 8-bit era of games, where you just kind of avoid the enemies and shoot the crap out of them and try to progress through the levels. The boss fights are actually quite entertaining. They're quite challenging at times. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It has an overworld, as we saw earlier before we got into this game. And again, you do have the melee as well. That can also reflect projectiles as well if you time it correctly. But I mostly stick with the shooting weapon because it's just generally safer. So yeah, this is definitely going to be, this is definitely going to remind a lot of people of the old school 8-bit games that they played when they were younger. And I believe that's what this game is trying to get at. This game or any other game I've shown in this collection of 8-bit games remind you of any other games in general, specifically, feel free to let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. So yeah, you just kind of shoot stuff, avoid stuff, and progress through the game. Try to get through a map, the overworld, and get yourself to a boss fight, and, you know, finish the game and all that stuff. A little bit unlike the old bit generation, there is a save function, so you can actually save your progress. I guess Zelda had that, but it was kind of an uncommon thing to be able to save. They used to save without codes, if you guys remember that. And we just died. There's the boss. I probably should have avoided that shadow. Okay, I think you guys get the picture of Shoe Tent. Let's move on. I believe there's like a couple more games. No, I think that's it. We covered them all. Yeah, so there you go. Retro Game Crunch. Pretty interesting. If you're into 8-bit games, or you feel reminiscent, or you know, nostalgia, definitely check out Retro Game Crunch. The games actually feel very, very different from one another. They're done actually quite well. They're not bad games at all, actually, considering that they were all made in less than a month, essentially. And they use a lot of backer input, which is actually nice to see. Again, the developer-gamer relationship definitely kind of set this collection of game apart. Alright, so there you go, guys. Retro Game Crunch. Definitely check it out. I'll throw the links to their Greenlight page. Please thumb them up if you think this is interesting and you would make it a purchase on Steam. If you are really, really interested in the game, you can purchase it right now off their website. And also throw a link to their Kickstarter page as well. Even though the Kickstarter campaign is complete, it'll be nice to see, you know, their history and how well they've done and all that kind of stuff, right? So there you go, guys. Retro Game Crunch, pretty interesting, not bad at all. Keep an eye on it. I think it's a pretty good game. All right, that's it for me, guys. If you enjoyed this, or you found this informative in any way, please let me know. You know, send me some love, like, share, fave, and comment. But most importantly, please subscribe, feed me my vegetables, and help me grow. Thanks for watching, guys. All the shoutouts.